Hi Aquarius. Welcome to your mid-June 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. We're crossing over now from, looking forward to Cancer season or feeling overwhelmed about Cancer season. I can't quite tell. If your body is overwhelmed, it's going to show you in Cancer season just off the bat here. Look forward to your body making you aware of where you're pushing yourself too hard. But before then, there's a full moon in Sagittarius, and that for you Aquarius is very much to do with your friendships and your acquaintances and your colleagues and your groups and your own energy and your own space, because 11th house energy is Aquarian energy, and you're feeling emotionally drained in many ways. It's supposed to be lighthearted, it's supposed to be exciting and conversational and jovial. It's not really. Because with Neptune about to go retrograde in your second house of worth and finances, you begin to see a pattern between trying to impress yourself and trying to impress others unnecessarily or bring them round to your way of thinking that just isn't clicking anymore. And you kind of have to wonder why it's not clicking. But it'll all make sense. As we go into eclipse season, and we see that Cancerian eclipse, you realise with the Tower here just how much you have been burning the candle at both ends, and you've not been setting yourself up a stable foundation to draw upon when things get tough. And that's okay, because that means you can learn from this, Aquarius. Because with the Sagittarian full moon, truth and freedom become paramount to your happiness and your relationships. And thankfully, we have Temperance energy coming in here, Sagittarian card, allowing you a chance for moderation and reassigning your heavier emotions to a well thought out strategy of coping. Ace of Cups, lovely. Nine of Swords, Ace of Wands, and the Hermit. Four of Cups, Page of Swords, and the Fool. Interesting indeed. If I told you that you just had to retreat for a little while and regroup and recharge and things would all look differently after, would you believe me? Because the Fool card is when you emerge after a really good night's sleep. And after rejecting some self-exploration, you're finally ready to talk. Because initially you don't want to go inward and see why your problems are all leading back to you, but then you realize that you're going to have to. Because the full moon makes you realize that if you don't look inward and discover what's lying dormant within you and causing these problems, you will feel lonely. And the whole point of 11th house energy is the wider connections. So if you're feeling incredibly detached to a point where you don't want to engage anymore, you need to see that it's coming from you, and it's not necessarily about forcing connections with incompatible people. Because as far as I'm aware, Aquarius, the Fool and the Page of Swords are pretty compatible with you, right? It's not that these relationships aren't worth it, and it's not that they don't matter, and it's not that all of this is incredibly unfulfilling. It's that you're not properly healing a part of you that is pushing you away from the connections you actually do kind of want. And I know that you're sort of probably thinking, Aquarians have a different way of looking at things. We're aliens. Certainly my moon's in Aquarius, and sometimes I actually go into groups of people and I think we cannot possibly be the same species. And it's not because there's anything wrong with anybody, it's just that sometimes my way of looking at things and my way of communicating things makes people look at me as though I need to be put into a spaceship and sent back to where I came from. Do you know what I mean? I think you probably do if you're an Aquarius watching this. If you're a cross watcher, you're probably thinking, yeah, they're actually kind of weird. But the point of this is, Aquarius, is that it's a misconception to think that because Aquarians are detached to many things, and indeed when emotions get really very heavy, sometimes the nature of an Aquarius is to retreat. What's actually happening here is that you're walking into a period of emotional overload. Gemini season's very fun and frivolous in many ways, but with Neptune and Pisces about to go retrograde, Saturn and Pluto retrograding already in your 12th house, opposing Mars, which is your house of health. Yeah, it's in your sector of health. And then Uranus being in Taurus, just causing all this sort of aggravation in May, and then we have all these oppositions. It is completely normal and natural if you don't always feel like the Aquarius that you are, and if you don't always understand why 1 minute you need to be alone and the next minute you need connection, and you're feeling as though there's nobody to connect to. What's actually going on, Aquarius, is just that you need a moment to stop rejecting what it is that you actually do need, and the things that you do actually need to face, and the feelings that are lying within you that you have been ignoring, and as well as that, the people you've been rejecting for fear of losing your identity. Do you know what I mean? Especially if they're Virgos. With the Page of Swords and the Fool, it's kind of as if you are ready to wake up. And you know that in order to do that with the Page of Swords, you have to talk to yourself. You have to communicate with yourself. And you have to put the sword down in order to have these connections. You know, you cannot shake somebody's hand while holding a sword because that just appears to be threatening. Similarly, you can't hug somebody while holding a sword because it still looks threatening. You have to put it down first. And your sword, Aquarius, is your razor sharp wit. It is your intelligence. It's being too smart for your own good to the point you can analyze things until their death. You know, you can kill something with your words that you might not have really wanted to. Your anxiety is teaching you something mid-June to the end, right up to July, that you really need to know. And with the Ace of Wands in your challenge, your spark and your get up and go attitude has been stifled. With Temperance here, what you need to do is heal the fire and the water elements in your life. So if you're dealing with a fire sign or a water sign, you need to heal that. I think for Aquarius, I can sort of see a picture here where many of you are dealing with another air sign, a water sign, or a fire sign. And you don't really want to give up on them, but you're kind of pushing it. Because your nature is telling you to act contradictory and confuse them. And that's not working out for you because your defensiveness is actually isolating you more. Even though you kind of don't want it to, but you do want it to, and you don't know what you want, and you're confused. So, Aquarius, the key here is to going inward and really thinking what's coming out of you. What are the words that are coming out of your mouth? Why are they coming out of your mouth? And what do you need to do to get past them? You know, what do you need to acknowledge within yourself to have a new beginning, a new journey, and a new outlook on life, and get back to being a carefree, dive right in type fool? And it's not that you dive right in carelessly, but it's the enthusiasm for your day-to-day routine and looking after your body and being active and engaging in different activities that make you feel unique and make you feel special, and form these connections with people that you so desperately need, even if you think you don't. That's interesting. Temperance here suggests that healing is taking place, even if you're not sure how. There is a process here that you can't quite see, and a lot of it is to do with your dreams. So whatever you're dreaming about, Aquarius, jot it down, look it up, and analyze what's really going on. Because once you've had a hermit mode, you can emerge from it a new, fresh Aquarius that you need in order to heal these relationships and connect with these people and reconnect with those people and understand their nature, your nature, and why being detached doesn't necessarily mean being aloof. So I love you guys. I will see you in the next set of readings. Take care of yourself, Aquarius. Bye.